Hey, welcome back. So I've been thinking about something, in part because that is just still really filling up with iron, guys. And what I'm thinking has almost nothing to do with that, technically. Geographically, I don't care about the, I don't mind having it. It's obviously good, technically, overall. But here's the thing, I'm bad at hitting F5 the right number of times. Um, I want to test something here. I could test it in, like, just a new creative world, but then I'd have to build it all first, so I don't want to bother. First step, I don't think anything's coming in here right now. I think it's everything's shut down enough, we just never... Even the fish are gone. Nothing ever comes up, there's no reason anything would be coming into the system. So, just to be sure, let me see if I can do this in a good way. I don't even technically need this carpet on here anymore, stuff doesn't spawn anymore. I just want to get rid of that so that anything coming in ends here, first of all. And second of all, I want wings on to do something, and I guess I might as well start there. I want to get over here to here. Stay. Okay. So there's a bunch of guys in there, which is kind of important to my next question. I don't know. One thing I'm thinking doesn't have anything to do, like it's going to be a flawed test, but we can try it. Give me, I just want to cheat in real quick. Give me, what the hell are they even called officially? Zombified? Is that? Just give me a bunch, because that's going to be important to trying something. I don't know if any of these will actually get through, although I do know if they get through and fall to their death, it won't really... What happens won't be what I want to have happen, so it won't affect the test, if that makes any damn sense, I don't know. I'm just going to put these guys, and the iron guys should slaughter these. There shouldn't be, I don't want a lot of kids if I can help it. But I do want just, oh damn, you're going to have to go now. I do want a, decent chunk of, what the hell was that? Oh, they're throwing them up here, that doesn't help me at all. I assume they're killing them. I mean, I would think. And the reason I want it specifically to where, I could also do it the other way around, have, naturally spawned Ziglins, but create iron guys. The flaw in that is iron guys that are created have different characteristics, and that I build have different characteristics than the ones that villagers summon. Specifically, if I hit one of these guys, they'll all come after me and kill me. If I build one and hit it, at least historically, I don't know if it's still true, I guess. They're good with it. They're just, oh well, it's whatever. They have this strange Stockholm concept. I don't know what to tell it. Would you stay in the damn? I'm just really. If I get a kid, it's just a wasted egg. So there's no point. They're absolutely killing these. I don't see. Okay, there's stuff that came out of it. I don't know about experience. I don't care very much about that. I'm just curious. What I really want to see is whether I get one giving me gold ingots, because if that's what I'm counting on, that's the most important. That's the one thing I want to see. I also wouldn't hate not seeing swords, but if I do see swords, we can deal with that at the time. We already have a way to deal with that in the nether. So I'm just testing this and seeing what we get. If I could just keep them in, they keep tossing them out, which is sort of not beneficial to me. I mean, it wrecks the test, is what it does. If they come up here, I have to deal with them, or they get in the village somehow. I don't think it matters that I'm in the overworld, except that here we have water. So that's something to consider. Oh, nuts. Well, we'll see what happens to him. I might wind up with a chicken living down in the... Because I don't know if they'll kill the chicken, they might just kill the kid. There's gold trapped in the... That's a flaw with the way this is designed. It doesn't usually affect anything, because iron guys don't really get trapped there and then die. They go down the middle if I let them, so... Okay, I don't know how many of these were kids, so if I had any illusions of being science-y, That's gone because for all I know, 5 or 10% of these turned out to be kids, and I don't think you can get stuff from kids when they're killed. Whoa, where'd he go? Where is he now? What happened? Okay. Oh, hell, damn it to hell. No, need to get in there. Yeah, kill him. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Some meat stuck to the thing, it doesn't really matter. And final one. Okay, so maybe... Didn't even hurt my wings. Or I was getting experience and they grew back. It's possible, I guess. Let me just go see what came of all that. Because what I'm expecting, I don't think any of the Ziglins survived long enough to get to the middle, because they could fall down. That piston's not going to stop something that's a, 1 by 2 by 1. The 2 by 3 by 2, that they get stopped pretty hard. But I don't think any survived to get to the middle, and assuming that not a hell of a lot of, there's a fish, not a hell of a lot of stuff got trapped in the corners. He didn't actually physically throw him. I'll find out later. Is there stuff coming up or not? So that so far. I don't see any ingots. And I would sort of hope out of upwards of a stack of eggs I would get some. Let me go see what happened when that guy got thrown out. It looked like he went into the village, and that makes me wonder if there might be stuff waiting for me outside that I didn't really consider that. I saw about where he would have landed if he lived that long. He may have evaporated on the way, it might not matter. These guys wouldn't pick anything up that I can think of, so I guess clearly nothing came out here. And of course I don't know how long it really takes for whatever did happen to get through the system to where I can find it. But we'll find that out in a sec. I would think by now I can probably watch for... Is there anything new coming in? I think we're done. Okay, so what did we... I didn't see any ingots. And my plan, if you want to call it that, relies on getting ingots from this. And the answer is none. That sucks. Okay, well, it's possible that my plan isn't going to work. I seriously don't need this carpet here, but I don't not... The biggest downside to the carpet is if I put down a shulker box, I have to get rid of it. The biggest upside is it looks good. There's nothing spawns on hoppers anymore, though, so that's irrelevant. I didn't ever see any experience. As of, I think it was true into 1.15, if a pigman, because that's all we had, got killed by these things that were naturally spawned, you'd get everything you'd get from a pigman, which was swords and ingots and whatever. I don't know if it's true anymore, because that's just weird. I don't know why I'm not seeing any ingots at all. I may have to, like, give up, and, well, not give up necessarily, but acknowledge that I don't quite know what I'm expecting, and try it out in the right environment. I don't see how it would make any difference, but it's possible something's different about overworld Ziglins, or that they're in the water. I mean, it could be it. But they are giving me half of what I would expect, so I don't know. The reason I'm thinking about it is I could build a village in the nether. I've done it elsewhere, not in this map. And you can't have water in the nether, but you can have other means of collecting stuff. The point of the water is ultimately just to, you see where they are, and then they're not going anywhere because of a piston. But they're being pushed into that area. I don't know why I'm going here where I can't illustrate what I'm saying. The piston preventing them from going down there is the only thing. Otherwise, the water would push them down. They'd land down there. If I flip the switch, I'd get fish, and they would all kill each other and introduce lag even with the whole new system. Probably. I don't think I've tried it since I replaced the video card itself. But the point of it is, if I do it in the nether, it has to be done differently. I'm going to go there now, probably because it's sunsetting anyway. And I'll point out where I'm thinking. There's a couple of things we got to do in here anyway, which I probably could bring stuff along to make that happen, but I can always come back out for it. Oh, I did incidentally, obviously, go back through and set down. This goes all the way to the Mushroom Island. Well, if it were loaded. The Mushroom Island due north. It's like 5,700 meters in the overworld, so, you know, divided by 8 is, what, 700-ish? And it goes straight. This is 0 by 0. So here we are. Please let me up, though. Well, yeah, I'm thinking if I were up here... There's a few ways in theory to do what I'm thinking toward, but each one is some effort. I mean, by definition, I'm climbing, that's effort. Holding down the space bar. Send snacks. What I could do is integrate... Or... build a village around the existing, what I'll show you in a sec. I don't know why I'm assuming that someone just showed up for the first time here and you have no idea the history, but if the way this is right now, I'm just going to get my bowling ball back. The way this is right now, there's out of order in the reverse order. I get stuff here like that bowling ball and whatever other assorted junk. Some of it useful. One thing I really got to do is build like a sorting system for this thing, because it's going to stack up. And if I sort it, I can at least delay it filling up, and we'll get to that. That stuff's in there because this guy gives me whatever he gives me when he gets an ingot. He gets an ingot because at a delay of 15, 16, technically 15 and a half-ish, sets of 4 ticks. So like around 64 ticks. I don't know precisely. I'd have to check something, but it's around 64 ticks. Every 64 ticks it throws out of that. Is that a dropper? I think it might be a dispenser. It's not really relevant. Either way, it throws something at him. And I don't know why I did that. I guess because I'm not done explaining the backward explanation. When he gets the gold, he ultimately ponders it, or admires it, I guess officially, according to the subtitles. Having decided he wants it after 64 ticks or so, he pockets it and throws me whatever he's going to throw me, which in this case is some leather, I guess. Which then goes up there and when it goes up here, it does nothing but, it's hard to follow which is what, but the end result of him throwing me that leather was that it comes up here and just goes this way and doesn't really do anything else. It just ends up in here and probably, yeah, all the way. So we're doomed. We got to do something about this pretty soon. Which is not the point today, but we'll get to it. He has the gold in the first place to ponder because it's coming in through here. And to about this point at the moment. And the reason it's there is partly if I'm up here. So now we are going to take time to make this point. If I'm up here in range, first of all, I'm moving away from most of the nether. I have to get far enough away, like technically 128 meters up from the starting point down there, which I think itself is 128. That more or less zeroes out the entire nether apart from everything above the ceiling. That's just how it is, because anything beyond that distance doesn't even try to spawn anymore. So then I get to this point, which apparently is about 224. Why am I... What the hell? Would you not... It's not letting me up, and it's just bothering me. Okay. So in fact, there's 20 blocks or 30 blocks of nether beneath the ceiling that could be spawning stuff right now. Which means the majority of stuff is up there. Like there's, I guess 4 entities at the moment up there, and it's 135 on the map. Some of which might... Actually, a lot of those are probably beneath the ceiling. It's not the best plan, but I can fix it. I mean, if I need to, I could build up and just hang out up there and then come down if I really want numbers. It's not really relevant, except these guys are here, and I can just go up and swat them to death. I've got looting on this and everything else. So I more than a little occasionally get ingots and whatever other ultimate goodies. They, you know, whatever the best they have to offer is, I'll get it. Swords, which is good and bad. All goes in there because there's a floor of... There's a bunch of hoppers beneath slabs, which allow the hoppers to suck stuff through the slabs. Goes into here, goes down this whole hopper, or this whole hopper tower, I guess is what I call it. It's a zipper system. And to save a bit of time, it goes all the way down here. Probably not as fast as I'm about to. And having done that, it ends up coming out basically here. If it's nuggets, no. If it's nuggets, it goes in down this thing and collects, and we get however many I haven't cleared out yet, not a lot. If it's meat, it basically fills up pretty quickly. We're going to have to deal with that sometime too. Cooked chicken, because occasionally that happens. Well, no, yeah, okay. Occasionally that happens. Almost always. I mean, in the sense that we sometimes get chickens. If I hit them with a sword, I've got fire aspect. If I hit them with a bow, which is kind of a somewhat cheaty 111 bow, it's got flame on it. So in most cases, unless I hit it with a hatchet or something else that I'm just trying to mend up, for some reason I'm not left-handing it and then using the sword to get it, because now the, you know, like I can keep my armor on, because in 1.16, generally, the snapshots at least, once this stuff's full, it doesn't try to steal any of the experience. If it's cooked chicken, which it probably is, it goes here and then goes there. If it's raw chicken, incidentally, it doesn't. And we'll get back to that. If it's feathers, because chickens, it goes here, and we get 2 of those. And if it's anything else, it goes here, and anything else in this case is usually swords. Yeah. But it could be raw chicken, technically, and if that's the case, then cooked chicken gets... You know, raw chicken becomes cooked chicken, moves on. As stuff moves on, if it's cooked chicken, 1 in a million, that happens. If it's swords, it gives you a nugget, which goes up this thing. And because that's another tower, rolls across this way and goes right back into the system. So now any sword that goes through this and goes that way and gets cooked and goes that way and goes up and goes this way is now a nugget, and it just goes back here like we were talking about. If it's an ingot, and these are just it's what I had that I knew I was never going to encounter in the nether, so I just used them as placeholder, you know, sorter fodder basically. If it's ingots, and you can, there's no good way to look at both of these. I guess there is. If it's ingots, it goes down there, 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 and then it's backed up, and you can see how that goes from there. And then it resets, you know, 64 ticks. That happens. Is the and this is fueled by there's bamboo up there that observers that you can't see from here anywhere, apparently. Notice the bamboo is grown and pistons knock it all down, into then the minecart gets it and it goes in here, and there's a bunch of bamboo. So we have what we have that relies ultimately on me going up there and killing these things to get this stuff to come down in the first place. What I'm thinking, now I would have to change, if I add it to this, I'd have to change a lot. If I don't add it to this, I have to build a lot, either way. If I can get iron guys to kill those for me by existing, particularly if I can get them to, you know, I could almost try, I don't have what I need on me. I could just cheat it. I'm doing that a lot. Let me have game mode, that one, so I can actually get up there in the first place. It's just easier to, well, obviously it's easier to cheat, that's the definition. But I don't want to have to build everything not here to, you know, to restart everything with what I would have. Can I do this? I don't know. Let me go to creative mode then, because I'm going to need something. And give me I guess I probably officially need, no, not that, a carved, that. Which now that I think of it, really? I've seriously never had that before? And while I'm here, give me iron blocks. Now, Whatever. Just let go of me. So now they're here. That helps me a lot. Let me just get these out of my way first. Alright. Set down. 1, 2. I honestly don't know if this will work on a slab. I guess I've never tried it that I can think of. Does it work? Okay, so we have him, and I got a thing for it. Let me undo everything I basically just did by going back out here. And for that matter, go back to survival. And there we are. I know he'll kill these. Oh, I don't have any way of testing it now. Like, generally, I don't want these, by the way. I don't know. Apart from seeing it happen, there's going to be no good way of I could knock this out real quick and see what remains. I just have to be able to put it back. Are we going to get more guys? What the hell? 0. Why is it 0? There should be pigmen happening. Piglins. Is that those things that we're counting on? And I don't know what in hell could be preventing it from being a thing. That's just weird. You know there is a way to test this in a different way. A way to... That's nothing. Let me down here for a sec. First it'll clear me out of here. I may just land on something I'll have to jump down from now. Nope, I'm good. Lose that. Get more of these back real quick. Give me, for that matter, another one. I'm just tired of coming here to get them. And, because I'm going to go back up there in a sec, but let me break out something that allows me to try this. It's not too busy at the moment. And then we'll get that put back when I am done testing this. Let me have that, by the way. Okay. Now we do the basic climb. I don't know how to possibly affect anything. There's one entity, which I guess is going to be my iron guy. Is there a reason to think the presence of an iron guy prevents him from spawning? I've never heard of that. Anyway, one way or the other. Assuming I can get this to work. I don't know, maybe. Then I can either build a village kind of around where I'm about to be and figure the villagers will summon the iron guys to end up here, and then those things will fall down to meet them. Why are there no things? I don't get it. Where is everything that's not... That's just strange. There's... Finally. Kill it, kill it, kill it. I don't know what the hell the pause was about. Anyway. I imagine eventually, it might be really eventually, he'll get killed. They'll kill him one day. I don't doubt that. They'll get enough strikes in. I don't have any way of measuring that I know of. Does it tell me? It doesn't even... It's not acknowledging, apart from an entity number, that he's there. I can't test how hurt he is. If I watch long enough, he'll get a little cracked. We know that. What I want to know is whether I get gold ingots because he kills him. For that matter, I want to know if I get swords because he kills him. Because I don't really want the swords. They're not the most beneficial thing to be collecting. These, by the way, are all I could punch them with, you know, a fish, a cooked fish, a soft cooked, and they would die. Maybe in 2 punches because they've fallen this far. It's not terribly relevant to the, they're going to die either way. It's just they'll do it faster this way. I could probably try tracking. I don't see anything coming in. There's something. It was meat, though, I think. I don't know if we'll get gold out of these or not. I want to stand here a little bit, kind of long enough to find that out, but... Oh, if it's not obvious, there's a turtle egg there on the glass that they can't reach because it's hard to tell, but that what you're looking at there is a ceiling above that by a few meters. So they walk off the trapdoors thinking they won't fall because they're wrong, and then they fall down and he kills them, I guess, at the moment. What's coming out? Meat. A lot of nuggets so far. And I don't know what the odds would be of getting an ingot. Like, it's not like he's got fortune. Or, not fortune, the other one. Looting. same thing for weapons instead of tools. Yeah, I don't know what I'm expecting. Well, I know what I'm expecting, I just don't know if I'm getting it. I guess we can go find out. See if anything good has got stuck in here. I don't see any. Damn it! I'm not sure it's going to happen. I would think it would happen. It used to. I'm pretty sure of that. Really pretty sure. Am I? I think so. I think that was the case. So I don't know what the hell the problem is at the moment. Whatever then. Get in there. Whatever else. Stay back for. Might be up and down a bit anyway. Yeah, if I nuts. And of course now, well, it's not a big. I don't think it's a big problem. Like technically, I've got this iron guy in there that is in my way. I can't even mend this probably. Maybe I can. Because if I hit him, he's going to go nuts. I don't know if he can hit me, so maybe it doesn't matter if I hit him. And since I built him, I'm still not sure whether he fits the character. Like, he probably, if I hit him, he might not hit me, because he's mine. I made him happen. But if I had naturally occurring Ziglins fighting naturally occurring golems, that might change what I get at. I can't think of a good reason why that would be the case. I also don't know if I can possibly hit anything before he gets it for me. Maybe if it lands closer to me than him. If it lands, if it happens. Might not. Don't know. Damn it. Oh, there's other ways. Yeah, I would want to get ingots, and I don't know if I will. I don't necessarily need it to be ingots, I guess. There we go. Because I can just compile the nuggets into ingots, throw them. Oh, I'd never actually mentioned that. I guess it's pretty obvious to me, so I don't know if it's obvious to anyone else. If I'm down there and do get ingots, whether it's naturally or from a sword that's been cooked. Yay. Well, alright, I can get down from here. If I get nuggets, what did I say ingots? I get nuggets, I can pick these up like this, go talk to this thing, make that happen. Dumb luck, I got a multiple of 9. Throw that just into here, and now it'll go up and over, and when it gets considered, well, it'll actually just go, oh, I just wrecked something, I forgot to look, that was 22, right? It's not even here yet. When I get 22, I'll pull them out and change how this works. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21. What am I wrong about? Maybe it was 21. Alright, are they jammed up somewhere, not coming through for some reason? They were 22. Maybe not. Anyway, they would go right here and immediately drop down to here and into here and back to where we're going. So it could just be nuggets. It would just add a step. It would be kind of annoying. I'm just gonna. Is there anything in there that's nothing bad? So I'm just gonna put this back because evidently we're not getting what I expect to get, which is too bad, but it appears to be true. I don't know. Now that I've rehooked up the system, there will be no guessing. But I was hoping that would actually. It could just be nuggets. It doesn't really. It just. Any nuggets. I would get nuggets either way, so I guess the fact is I'll just have to occasionally collect them and compile them into ingots to dump back into the system somewhere, and it's not optimal. But it's how it is. The other factor is if I built a village around this, I think it would probably work. Generally. However, I would have to account for the eventual demise of a golem, or a dozen, or 1,000, or whatever, however many get made. And I would have to factor that we're going to get iron ingots and roses, neither of which is accounted for in my sorting system, so they would actually just end up in the oven the way it is right now. Which means I'd either have to add a couple of stages to the sorting system to account for those, or I would have to not build the village around this and just do a whole. I'd still have to build a sorting system accounting for it, but it would be separate. And separate might be better simply because well, no, I don't think it's required. Well, damn it, it is. Oh, it totally is. I can't just add it to this. It won't work. And the reason is, these guys wouldn't. If I had a village around this, I'd make the village out of like glass. But it would need the spawning platform in the middle, and this isn't one because they won't. Those things can't be spawned onto slabs, so far as I know. So I would need full blocks, and then instead of this, I'd have to have a minecart picking up all this stuff. It's just going to be a mess if I do it. If I try to modify this, it's going to be different than it is, like significantly. It's going to be not that much extra work to build us a whole second village, I guess is what I'm thinking. I'm going to leave him in there because I don't care. One day he'll die, and his stuff will probably end up in the oven because if it's, you know, not anything accounted for, like a sword or a raw chicken, it's necessarily going to... Oh, that's interesting. How'd that happen? There's no way that happened. Ever. It must have... I know what I did. I put them in here, which overloaded it, which necessarily... It didn't go down fast enough, so some of them went sideways. That would happen to the ingots and roses, and we don't want that. Actually, it would happen to one or the other, and then the rest would get jammed up because they can't occupy the same space. So that's a problem, kind of, but... You know, it's how it is. And with that, I guess I'm kind of done. Well, we do have to do this sometime because that's seriously going to fill up and suck. Yeah, it's getting there right now. I could yank out, you know, stuff that I want to have with me anyway, although finding what I'm looking for, like gravel, is getting increasingly up higher. And I'll just leave, and then I'll actually shut it down because I won't be here. One day I gotta... Maybe next time I'll come in and do a sorting system. I could do it off camera. It's just the same thing I always do, but with different parameters. Different, there's a lot of these guys out here. That's neat. I wouldn't have thought so, but I guess so. Oh, it would be a sorting system, but specifically for, stuff you get from a piglin, is the point. Anyway, I think I'm out of time, right? That can probably be there. Yeah, I'm a little over time. Didn't actually even do anything, but I am really thinking toward all of that, and I could probably do a lot of it off camera, which means I could also just do it on camera and then pause between when it's not important, but, you know, whatever. One way or the other, I'm thinking toward doing one of those, but in the nether, that may or may not... Obviously, golems and ziglins would kill each other. We just know that. It's what happens. So I get something from it, and I'd have villagers in there. If I probably could just fill it up with clerics, because they want meat and gold anyway. Meat for sure. Well, they want gold too, but meat is something I have in a disturbing abundance. I gotta get rid of it somehow, and if I don't have to pull it out of there to come to the overworld and give it to these guys, that's probably better. We'll see how that works out. Yeah, so until next time, I'll make some decisions on my end how I want to actually do a village in the nether and how it's going to theoretically work, and I'll just see you next time when we might do that. So, bye.